I'm Kai Vanel and welcome to another episode, specifically episode 2. So, how many times have you found yourself in this situation where you are opening the bonnet to go and connect your air compressor? So normally it's quite an involved thing. You have to first open your bonnet and then you have to go and you have to clamp your air compressor onto your battery terminals. Once that's done, you can finally take your other end and you can go and walk down to the tires to pump up. Now, what I'm going to do instead is, because I drive a Ford and the jokes will be flying when a Ford is open with its bonnet, is that I am going to put a 175 amp Anderson plug in the tub that I can permanently connect to. Now, what you'll see here is I've already gone ahead and I have crimped on a 175 amp Anderson plug onto the alligator clips. And on the side that attaches to the air compressor, I've done the same. Now, a lot of you might ask, well, why did I not go with the 50 amp Anderson, all that sort of thing? And honestly, the reason is for safety. We're going to take a 25 millimeter squared cable from the battery with a fuse, run it all along under the vehicle into the load bin, and attach another 175 amp Anderson plug in the back. Once that's done, we should be able to then simply open the tailgate, connect the air compressor, and if with the car running, of course, because you don't want to run your battery flat while you're using the air compressor, you can then simply go around and inflate your tires nice and easily. This will now allow me to not have to open the bonnet. Now, to make this happen, you are going to need a couple of items. You will need a big crimper, a fuse, some terminal ends, heat shrink, your wire, and this is going to be another special edition that I will talk about just now. Also, you'll notice that I've got a 50 amp Anderson which goes in conjunction with this wire, which is a 6 millimeter squared, which I'll talk about now. You'll also need a knife, you will need side cutters over there, and you will need a wire stripper. Now, for the fuse, I have chosen to go with a 125 amp fuse because for most of what I'm going to do, that is going to be more than sufficient. And the housing that I'm going to use is the National Lunar 16 millimeter squared to 35 millimeter squared wire housing. Just like that, we have finished our wiring job. Turns out quite an involved job. Yeah, definitely make sure you have time when you do it yourself. But we've taken all the safety precautions to make sure that everything is done properly. We have done a fuse from the battery. We've done a fuse as it comes into the load bin. And as you can see, I've already put my flex fridge in, ready to go. And yeah, mind the mess. It's a work in progress, as everything is, because it's one of those things that they just take forever to tidy up the back of your load bin, especially when you have a canopy. It seems like the more space you have, the more stuff you carry. Now, one other thing that I should mention that I've done, which is rather unconventional, is instead of bolting the two on, you can't really see the bigger one so well, but instead of bolting it in and always having it in fixed position, I've rather opted to simply put a strip of Velcro, to put a strip of Velcro on the back and on the tub, and then I can simply stick it and use it. Now the convenience is with that is that I can simply take it off, use it, put it wherever I need, or I can just keep it there out of the way and that sort of thing. So I'm very pleased with that thought that I had.
And now this.
Now, the one thing that you guys will remember is I had a second cable lying on the load bin. Now this I have wired up into the cab and for a very good purpose. Now, I like to keep my portable power station on my back seat because to charge phones, laptops, camera equipment, that sort of thing, it's just that much more convenient than having it rattle around in the load bin. Now, that does mean, however, that often from the portable power station, I want to power my fridge. And to power the fridge, then I have to run a wire on the outside of the vehicle into the canopy, and it just didn't sit well with me. So I've run a adequate size cable from inside the cab through and over the wheel arch on the left hand side and into the load bin. I've fitted an Anderson plug and I've created another short piece with a cigarette lighter that I can simply plug into my portable power station, and everything in my load bin then has power through the 50 amp Anderson plug which is in the load bin. So that means, in a summary, I've got two plugs in my load bin. One 175 amp, which is solely for when the vehicle is running, and it's to use high powered equipment like air compressors and that sort of thing. And then I have a 50 amp Anderson plug, which I can connect into the cab or vice versa to run anything smaller like a fridge or another portable power station in the load bin. So I think long term, the idea is going to be to have a smaller power station in the car for the camera equipment and everything, and a big power station in the load bin that's permanently mounted. And with that there, I can then simply reuse the same cable and feed the power into my vehicle, or into the cab at least, than powering it the other way. And that's why I did the additional cable, because it makes sense in my situation to be able to swap between getting power to the load bin and into the cab or vice versa. So I hope you guys enjoyed episode 2 of the vehicle build. There's a lot more to come, and please like, subscribe and enjoy. Some scissors,